This week on Rams 360.
We're here at the Avenue C. That's what these steps are called, right?
These steps right here, this built my toughness, this built everything.
So when a player is injured, typically the rehabilitation process starts immediately. It's our job to provide them with the care.
Huge shout out to Coach Benner for just always believing in me. Like, if he wasn't there, like I said, I wouldn't be Sebastian Joseph-Day.
I've always wanted a Jeep, being out here in California, an electric car too, so it's the best of both worlds for me.
All this and more on Rams 360.
What's up, you guys? This is your boy, Jay Mendoza. Welcome back to Mi Barrio, presented by Rocket Mortgage, where we highlight Latinos making a mark in the city. Today, we got one of my good friends. She's a multimedia personality. She's a creator. She works in the music business. She's done a little bit of everything. My friend, Jessica Flores!
It's crazy. We've known each other for years, and this is like a full circle moment for us.
Where are we?
We're here in Torrance, California, in this beautiful area. This is the area that trained me mentally, physically, emotionally, and I'm so excited to tell you why.
So tell us, what have you been up to? What have you been doing? Who is Jessica Flores?
That's a really loaded question. Obviously, after last year, which was a difficult year for all of us, I've kind of had a reset. So this year, I've just been focusing on, I guess, harnessing my own talents and figuring out what I could do with my own personal brand. But I've done a lot. I mean, ranging from radio, working in the tech world,
She was one of the original people at TikTok.
Yeah, I was there doing a lot of stuff for Latin America and produced radio shows here on Power 106 and Radio Disney, and I had my own reggaeton show here on Cali 93.9. And so yeah, it's been an insane journey for sure.
So I like to ask everybody this question. I grew up in LA, you grew up in LA.
Yes.
But we all have a different experience, but similar. What was your journey just growing up in LA?
Well, I mean, I come from immigrant parents, so like my dad's born and raised Jalpa, Zacatecas. My mom is from Cali, Colombia, so they came here, and I mean, yeah, they started off just wanting to build, and they created a beautiful life for me and my siblings. So I was raised in this area, but interestingly enough, where I went to school, in middle school and elementary school, there wasn't a lot of kids that looked like me. Yeah. So it was very difficult for me to feel proud of where I was from, because everyone around me was telling me, well, you're different, you're weird, you know, there's something off about you. Like, what do you mean your parents can't speak perfectly? Or, you know, what do you mean you like Spanish music? So I definitely battled a lot of those, you know, identity issues, just because I was like, there's nobody that looks like me out here.
Best of both worlds, Colombian and Mexican.
Yes.
Which is two different worlds, two different foods.
That's like what you go through too.
Salvadorian and Mexican.
Yeah, so we could definitely relate on that. Hey, mixed households.
So we're here at the Avenue C. That's what these steps are called, right?
These steps right here, to me, built me right here. This built my toughness. This built everything.
I think these stairs need to build me.
Come through, I got you. These stairs will kick your butt any day. Yeah. Well, I would run from all the way down here, all across the Strand, and my dad, he, since I was little, would be like, you're gonna do 10 of these stairs, you're gonna run it fast. I don't care if you die, like, just suck it up. So since I was little,
but this is like,
it's steep, and it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them, and trust me, it's crazier when you're actually in the vibe doing it. Your legs are shaking. These were our go-to steps to train.
So all along, would you say that you think he was training you for soccer, or when did you fall in love with soccer? Because I know you played soccer your whole life.
I played since I was 5, and I think at my first game, I tried a lot of different sports, by the way, but soccer was the only one I was like super good at. And I just kind of kept it going from there, but my dad was always a runner, so it was for soccer, but also just his mentality is work out, you know, put your body through a lot, because you know what, it's going to just train you to be tough and to work through that pain and push your limits so you know what you're capable of. And that's what my dad, that was his whole philosophy. So
do you want to tell everybody where you played?
Yes, I played at USC. I played there 1 year actually, because then I decided I kind of wanted to pursue more of an entertainment, but just getting there and being able to play amongst incredible athletes and legendary females, and just being around the football team, and that energy was insane. So it was one of my biggest accomplishments.
And how did you even become a Rams fan, or at what point did you say, I'm going to be a Rams fan?
Okay, interestingly enough, I mean, obviously when they came back to LA, that was a huge plus, but when I was little, I'd watch my brothers play Madden, and I would always choose the Rams because they would always have the craziest ratings on there. So even when I was little, I loved the Rams. I'm like, this is my team. And then when obviously they came back to LA, I was like,
gotta be Rams
full
fans.
Circle. This is full circle for me right now.
Any advice for Latinas out there who are coming up that want to be just like Jessica Flores?
That's so crazy, because I remember even being younger and being like, how can I be like this person or that person? First thing and I always lead with this, my favorite quote, feel the fear, but do it anyway. I say this all the time because anytime you're gonna get into any industry, whether it's tech, you wanna start your fashion, your lash business, you wanna be a radio personality, you wanna do music, you're gonna be so scared the first time you're on site for a job, the first time you're hosting, the first time you're doing anything. You just gotta do it, and don't be afraid to reach out to people you look up to, you admire. Make sure that you follow something that is your purpose. When you're thinking about purpose, I mean, I think it comes down to two things. What's something you're good at, something you can monetize, and something that you're passionate about. And I think you're gonna be super happy doing those things. And own your culture. I think because for so long I didn't. It's so nice to be able to be proud and be around and collaborate with people like you, because we really own who we are, and that's a beautiful thing.
Well, there you guys have it. Jessica Flores, Javen Joseph. Thank you for...
Love you, brother. Love you, brother. More to come.
Episode of Mi Barrio. Peace.
Coming up next on Rams 360.
At the end of the day, it's all about trust. To me, that's valuable. That's important because, again, we're trying to help the human being and not just the football player. My name is Byron Cunningham, Director of Rehabilitation for the Los Angeles Rams. Well, my role here is really about just taking care of the athletes in the athletic training room when it comes to their injuries, from your day-to-day ankle sprains to some of your longer-term injuries like your ACLs. But it's really our job is to help these guys get back out on the field every Sunday to really maximize their performance through protection and management. At this point in the season, a lot of these players' bodies have really taken kind of physical toll. Football is a very combative sport. It really is putting the players in positions to be successful through a lot of our recovery strategies, whether it's through massage, whether it's through our workload management on the field, whether it's through other modalities that we use in order to get our players feeling at their best in order to perform at their highest level and to their maximum capacity on Sunday. So when a player is injured, typically what happens is there's some sort of on-field or sideline evaluation, and once we kind of diagnose the injury, typically the rehabilitation process or the recovery process starts immediately. So it can be very challenging at times, but it's our job to provide them with the care and with the necessary resources, and also just with the necessary attitude to let these guys know that, hey, you're gonna be okay. Hey, things are gonna work out when it comes to sustaining an injury from a mental standpoint, because at the end of the day, it's all about trust. And if you don't have the trust of your athletes, it's hard to really connect. So what I really love about my job when guys do come in the athletic training room, it's really about building that connection, building that relationship. And you get to know these players kind of on a different level. You get to know them personally. You get to know about family. You get to talk about things outside of football. And believe it or not, you learn so much. To me, that's valuable. That's important because, again, we're trying to help the human being and not just the football player.
I'm Joey Blake, Director of Performance Nutrition and Wellness. Nutrition is an all-day event, so when you think about all the touch points that you have with nutrition, the first thing you do is you probably think about eating or drinking, and then the last thing you do is kind of eating and drinking. So when you're responsible for those areas, your day never really stops. At this point in the season, you're really trying to prevent the body from breaking down. When you go through 4 months of a season, nobody's at 100%. But I would say week to week, the team that is close to 100% as possible is always going to have an advantage. So we're doing our best to get our guys back to 100%. You always want to be fresh as soon as possible and more often as possible. So there's nothing groundbreaking that we're going to do different as you get later in the season that you wouldn't do at the beginning of the season. But it is a matter of keeping up with that consistency. Nutrition can get very monotonous. So really for us, it's how can we make things that guys have grown tired of new and exciting to make sure that we are giving them the ability to make them want what they need. And then it's working with our coaches and understanding that, like, hey, if there's certain players that are going to play more in the upcoming weeks, like, it's always great from a fueling perspective for us to make sure they're adequately fueled with different demands for that given game. That can be making sure from a macronutrient side we're getting something in a shake for a guy who may not be able to eat a pregame meal. And that's easy. He'll come to me and say like, hey, I'm not really feeling it, and say, hey, no problem, I got you. And I'll whip something up, mix a couple things together, and it honestly might be better overall for what they need leading into the game than what they would have tried to have eaten and been unsuccessful at. It's just working with them day to day and figuring out what they do well and how we can make it work into performance. If somebody is very diligent about eating well and hydrating well, they don't deal with cramping as often as some other guys, like that day-to-day stuff from an athlete perspective. But I think the hardest thing about nutrition is it's not transactional. We don't live in a microwave with nutrition of saying that, hey, if you eat this, you get this out of it. It doesn't happen that way. If that was the case, everybody would eat well all the time, every day. So I think until you get tapped into eating really well, you never know what that can do for you. So I think once guys do that and once you start eating really well, you'll never go back to the other side of that.
It was a blessing in disguise. Coach Menard was my parent when I was away, when I was at school, making sure, my grades were good. And honestly, he helped me get recruited. Like, he legit helped me get recruited. I did not know how the process went.
You are watching Rams 360.
Sebastian, this little message is for you. Everyone here in our town, me especially, we just want to let you know how proud we are of you, of everything you've accomplished since the day we met back in middle school, junior high, up until now. Your success comes to no surprise to me.
Hey, Bash, I know one thing, I know you're enjoying the weather out there as opposed to back up here in the Northeast. Since the first time I met you, the one thing that you understood was, you weren't going to be handed anything and you had to earn everything. And the thing that set you apart has been your attitude, your ability, and your drive. The first time I had an impression of Sebastian was actually not meeting him. Once I got hired as the head coach at Stroudsburg High School, the first thing you do is, obviously I go in and start watching tape from last year. Coach Fenner and a couple of the coaches who I retained are in there. We're watching tape. And the first thing that caught my eye was, who's the big kid standing on the sideline not playing? That dude should be on the field.
First impression of Coach Bernard, man, hard ass, boy. He was playing no games. He actually came straight out of the University of Pittsburgh. So, it was a blessing in disguise. And honestly, he helped me get recruited. Like, he legit helped me get recruited. I did not know how the process went at all. Coach Menard was my parent when I was away, when I was at school, making sure, my grades were good, making sure I was always behaving, making sure everything. Because me, I'm a little outgoing, I'm a little talkative, In every life story, I feel like there's always a pinnacle. Like, there's always like a point, like a high point, right? A peak. And I hit that peak with him. Like, if he wasn't there, like I said, I wouldn't be Sebastian Joseph-Day of the LA Rams. I wouldn't have went to Rutgers. I wouldn't have done any of the things I've done here.
The first memory I had of Sebastian, he was probably in, 6th, 7th grade, and he was 4 times the size of everyone else. So right away, as a football coach, I'm like, ooh, I need to know this kid. I need to get to know this kid. I was definitely excited to, get a chance to meet Bash. He was awesome.
Him and I, man, we just hit it off right away. And I remember him showing me film, I think that was the first thing that he showed me. He was watching me film, like, hey, you see this right here? And then he honestly just told me the truth. He just told me, like, hey, listen, man, I think you have a legit shot. When you hear that as in 8th grade, you're like, oh, cool, I have a shot to go to Division I, but you don't really process the fact that you're going to school for free, right? So, huge shout out to Coach Fenner for just always believing in me. I guess he believed that I would become something, I'd in the football realm. That never really was what he cared about. Ultimately, he always cared about me as a person, right? Always came through like he always does, and I consider him like an older brother.
The fact that Sebastian considers me part of his family, it makes me proud. I've always approached teaching and coaching as, hey, if someone's gonna be a sponge like Sebastian and always want and take and use your information, give them as much as they want to take. And Sebastian was that type of kid.
He let his actions on the field speak for his leadership, and that's what we kind of taught him. And then off the field, he was a perfect role model, not only for his peers at his age, but for the younger guys behind him.
They've invested so much time, love, and support into me when I was just a young kid from Stroudsburg with some potential. And they really just got to know me, who I was as Sebastian Joseph-Day, the person, you know.
Obviously, you're in the NFL. It's a big deal. But more importantly, the things you've done off the field, the giving back, the lending the hand, it's a testament to your character. It's a testament to mom and dad and your work ethic. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your coaching and a part of your life after high school.
I was just glad to be a small part of the process moving forward, and wishing you nothing but the best, both professionally and personally. God bless.
That's crazy. That's a small part. He's crazy now, man. He's not no small part. Damn. You know, there's a lot of kids that play football. You know, they aren't blessed enough to have people like that. You know, like a Coach Fenner or Coach Bernard in your corner. You know, besides their parents, to really like look out for you, guide you. You feel me? Like make sure you know you reach your full potential. And I want to be Sebastian Joseph-Day for LA Rams if it wasn't for these guys, man. And damn, y'all got me emotional, man.
Coming up next on Rams 360.
You know, whenever kids starts being able to learn how to drive and everything, you know, I noticed like Wranglers being a cool car to have, and it's just always been one that, you know, I've wanted. What's up, everybody? This is Ben Skowronek, and this is Rams Rides. Yeah, so I got the car probably about a month and a half ago, you know, just about like the start of the season. This car is, you know, a different type of Jeep. You know, it's a plug-in hybrid, so it runs on gas and electric. And I got it because, you know, I've always wanted a Jeep, and then, you know, being out here in California, I kind of wanted an electric car too, so it's the best of both worlds for me. Around my 16th birthday, you know, whenever kids starts being able to learn how to drive and everything, you know, I noticed like Wranglers being a cool car to have, and it's just always been one that, you know, I've wanted. And, you know, being in the NFL and being able to be, you know, my first car I could buy is kind of cool. So, you know, I wanted to get a car that was kind of like me. No, nothing too crazy, but, you know, I like the black wheels and the tinted windows. And, you know, I spent some time kind of trying to customize, you know, it for a little bit online, and Jeep has a great feature where, you know, I was able to customize it how I want. So this color is called Stingray. I was the first to have it on the team, and next thing I know, 2 other people pulled up with the same color, so I'm a trendsetter, I guess, but no, I'm just playing. I like it. It's you know, slick, it looks good, it looks smooth, and, you know, it's a cool color. Oh yeah, there's a lot of things I want to do to my Jeep. Some big rims on here, lift it up a little bit. You know, also, you know, would love to wrap it. You know, maybe get a matte wrap on it here soon, and, you know, just do some cool stuff down the road and kind of customize it even more to my liking. Pretty often, you know, I'm able to just park it in my garage and then plug it in, and you know, it charges by the time I'm ready to go in the morning. I might do a little bit of off-roading. I just really haven't had the time. I want to take the top off, take the doors off at some point. So one of my favorite things about this Jeep is Sirius XM. You know, I'm on the free trial right now, and it's something that I'm gonna definitely invest in. I love Kenny Chesney, and every day on the way to work and on the way home, I listen to Channel 57 No Shoes Radio. I love it. I love his music. So that's been one of my favorite parts about having this Jeep, honestly. Get some country music going, top off, and, you know, just kind of drive around California, explore. You know, there's obviously beautiful coastlines, so go up and down PCH and just, you know, kind of enjoy the scenery.
partnering with the LA Rams helps get the word out, lets people know that, again, there are a lot of families and individuals still struggling, 20 months past the pandemic.
Stay tuned for more Rams 360.
This is a really great partnership. We came into this community just last year, and the opportunity to really give back to this community is fantastic. And if you look behind us, you can see that line of cars. This community is really benefiting from this, and so we're so grateful to be having this opportunity with the food bank and the Rams to participate in this kind of a giveaway.
How you doing, guys? I'm Nick Scott with the Los Angeles Rams. Here working with the food bank, with a lot of the Rams community, having a lot of fun giving out food. It's great to give back, especially this time of year. The community does so much for us. They give so much to us. They give us so much love and support. So any opportunity we have to give back to this community, we want to take that and help them out in any way we can. A huge blessing. It's very important. I think when you're in this position, you have a responsibility to give back not only to your own community, but the community that supports you the most.
We think this event's really important because, partnering with the LA Rams helps get the word out, lets people know that, again, there are a lot of families and individuals still struggling, 20 months past the pandemic. And being able to really get this type of support to put this type of event on so we can help so many people in just really one morning here at SoFi Stadium.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next week for more Rams 360.